We're learning that Goa police is likely to issue lookout notice against Gaurav and Sourav Luthra, who are the owners of Arpora-based ill-fated club Birch by Romeo Lane. So killer lapses have emerged. Only 2 exits were there. Dozens were trapped in this nightclub. 25 people, remember, have died in the Goa Nightclub fire tragedy. And in the latest, Goa police likely to issue lookout notice against Gaurav and Sourav Luthra, who are the owners of this Arpora-based ill-fated club named Birch by Romeo Lane. Remember, these two are located in Delhi, but right now they are untraceable. The police is on the lookout for the 2 owners, and now the Goa police is likely to issue lookout notice against the 2 owners named Gaurav and Sourav Luthra, who are the owners of Birch by Romeo Lane. My colleague Devesh Singh is now joining us with more details on this. Devesh, the search for the owners of Birch by Romeo Lane continues, and we're learning that the Goa police is now all set to issue a lookout circular for the same. Give us more details.
Well, Anjali, Gaurav and Sourav Luthra, since this incident happened, they've been untraceable. There's a team of Goa police which is camping, which is looking for them in Delhi, but they are not traceable. They've looked at their residences, at their possible relatives' places. They've searched around 5 to 6 locations, what we hear from our sources, but Gaurav and Sourav Luthra are not traceable. So, in this scenario, if Gaurav and Sutra, who are the prime accused for this tragedy, for the tragedy that happened at the nightclub in Arpora, Goa, where 25 people were killed, several others were seriously injured. Gaurav and Sourav Luthra are untraceable. So there is a chance, it is suspected that they could try to and flee the country, and that is why in that scenario a lookout circular can be issued so that they can be stopped at any airport where they try to flee outside the country. They can be stopped over there, and they can be then they can be detained by the Delhi police or the concerned police officials, and then further handed over to the Goa police, as Goa police has already sent out teams in Delhi and at few other places as well, what we hear from our sources. But Gaurav and Sourav Luthra, as of now, they've not been traced. They are still wanted. They're the prime accused in this tragedy that has claimed lives of around 25 people and left several others injured.
Right. Devesh, also tell us about the charges that have been pressed against the owners.
Well, the most important charge is culpable homicide. That is what has been charged in the FIR registered at the Anjuna police station. The 4 managers, 4 staffers of the club also have been arrested. They were produced in front of a magistrate last night itself and have been remanded to 6 days of police custody. So the primary charge, other than endangering life and personal safety of others, it is culpable homicide. That is the charge under BNS, which has been charged against Gaurav, Sourav Luthra and others as well. So other than Gaurav and Sourav Luthra, were there other people also responsible? Because the Goa government has begun crackdown on senior officials of the Goa government as well. The director of Panchayat, the then director of Panchayat, has been placed under suspension. There's a departmental inquiry started against her. Other than the then director of Panchayat, there are 2 other senior officials who also have been suspended, and an inquiry, a departmental inquiry has also started against them by the Goa government. So were there any other people responsible? Was there role of any other people who had allowed this ill-fated club to function, which led to this tragedy, which claimed the lives of 25 people who were present at the ill-fated club that evening? So there were tourists among them. There were staffers who were working at the club. There were no safety norms were violated. There were no proper entries, exits. There was no kind of any precaution being taken by the club owners, by the management, so that in case of a emergency, in case of a fire, people could exit properly. Remember, 23 people, what we hear is that amongst the 25 people, 23 suffocated to death. 23 people suffocated to death. They were not charred to death, they were not burnt, but they died because of suffocation, they died because of lack of oxygen. 2 people were burnt to death, their bodies were charred, but 23 people, remember, they suffocated to death because there was no ventilation, there was no exit planned, there was a tiny entry and exit point at the club, and this led inside the club, and there was a tiny exit as well, but there was no precaution being taken. What we hear from sources that there was no fire safety equipment also present inside the club. The fire erupted, and because of the furnishing, because of the decor that they had created with leaves and with other inflammable substances, that led to a spike in the fire. It immediately started burning and it spread across the club, trapping all those people inside, trapping the people who were working there inside, causing their death due to suffocation, some were even charred to death. So this was a trap. This was a trap which was created by the club owners. They were making money out of it, but these innocent 25 people have now lost their lives. Several others are still battling for their life at the Goa Government Hospital.
Absolutely. Devesh, questions now also point towards the authorities who gave them a go-ahead, who gave them the license to operate this nightclub without having the required things that are needed, which is adequate escape routes, also proper ventilation, which were clearly missing and which turned this venue into a death trap.
Well, exactly, Anjali. This place was created already. There was ruling party MLA had raised questions about this club's functioning in the month of August itself. He had raised several questions that this club was erected illegally. It was erected on paddy fields. It was erected over a water body, and there was no permission from the local panchayat. The panchayat also had issued demolition notice to them in the month of April. But despite that, the demolition notice was stayed. Senior officials helped them function. Senior officials helped the Luthra brothers to function. Senior government officials from Goa government itself allowed the club to function, which turned into a death trap, killing these 25 innocent people. Who is responsible for that? Not only the Luthra brothers, but aren't the government officials who allowed this club to function without any proper permits, without any proper safety norms being followed, without any safety equipment being kept, without proper entry and exit points? Aren't they responsible? Aren't they culpable? They've been suspended. There's a government inquiry being launched. But what after that? What after that? Aren't they responsible for the death of these people? So
all right, Devesh, thank you so much for getting us those details. In fact, we'll keep coming back to you for more updates on the investigation in the Goa fire tragedy. The tragic nightclub fire in Goa sent shockwaves across the nation. Authorities have launched a fierce crackdown and investigation after the devastating blaze at the popular Birch by Romeo Lane club in Baga, which claimed at least 25 lives. The 4 accused managers were produced in front of magistrate and remanded to police custody for 6 days. Former Panchayat director, former Goa Pollution Control Board member secretary and Arpora Nagoa Panchayat secretary have now been suspended in the wake of the fire tragedy. In the immediate aftermath, cops arrested the nightclub's general manager and also 3 other staff members. Additionally, 3 senior government officials have been suspended for alleged lapses. An FIR for culpable homicide has been registered against 4 individuals. However, the club's key owners, Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, remain untraceable. A police team has been dispatched to Delhi to locate and apprehend them. Responding to the tragedy, Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has announced a financial aid of 5 lakh rupees for each victim's family. The Goa Disaster Management Authority has also issued fresh advisories to hotels, restaurants and clubs across the state aimed at preventing similar incidents in the future.
I have conveyed the urgent and high-level meeting today at the 12:15, and continuously I am discussing with all the concerned officers. DGP has directed to take the strict punitive actions against the culprit, including the owner, managers, and a manager of the club, and those who have issued the permissions. The committee shall be constituted under the chairmanship of the Secretary Revenue for conducting the audit of such clubs, business establishment, etc., which are operating without the valid permissions and wherein There is a likelihood to be gathering of the people in large number. An SOP has framed by this committee for all such establishments to ensure such incident shall not repeated in future.
पूरे गोवा के लोग हिल गए हैं ये इंसिडेंट में। ऐसा कभी गोवा में हुआ ही नहीं, जैसे कि फायर होना और किसी की मौत होना। इतने 25 लोग, उसमें 3 औरत गुजर गए और बहुत सारे लोग बहुत ही दुखी है गोवा के और पूरे इंडिया के।
ये क्लब में आग लगा और 25 लगभग लोग जो हैं वो डेथ हो गए। और मैं देख रहा था कुछ मीडिया में, अगर वहाँ समय पर अगर वो फायर ब्रिगेड चला गया होता तो कुछ राहत मिल जाता, लेकिन बहुत लेट करके गया। तो ये किसका फेल है? सरकार फेलियर है, सरकार फेलियर है, गवर्नमेंट फेलियर है। दूसरी बात ये कि जितने लोग उसमें डेथ किए हैं, मैं आपके माध्यम से सरकार को अवगत कराना चाहूँगा कि इमिडिएटली मुआवजा मिलना चाहिए उन लोगों को। इमिडिएटली उस परिवार से मिल करके उस परिवार का इच्छा क्या है सरकार को जानना चाहिए और उसके अनुरूप फैसला लेना चाहिए और घोषणा भी करना चाहिए।
एकदम से भगदड़ हुई, हलचल मच गई वहाँ पे, तो सारे बाहर की तरफ ही भागे और एकदम से उसी टाइम आग बढ़ गई।
जो एंट्री का रोड था वहीं से
बाहर आए थे सब,
मतलब इमरजेंसी एग्जिट वगैरह एग्जिट था,
एक ही था वो।
स्टैम्पेड हुआ था यहाँ पे एग्जिट के पास, तो वो थोड़े 3-4 मिनट्स का ही था, फिर 2 मिनट के लिए फ्लेम रुकी थी एंड मैं तो उस टाइम कॉन्शियस तो नहीं हो पा रही थी। जब स्टैम्पेड हुआ तो मैंने होश खो दिया था, तो माय हस्बैंड जस्ट पुल्ड मी आउट एंड हम बाहर निकले।